Well, hello, my friends. YouTube. This is going to be a very different kind of video. It's probably going to look and sound different from my previous videos because I am now recording on the DJI Pocket 3 recorder. So I have the gimbal in place. I am now shooting just in my theater space room. This is my two-channel setup here. Let me just scroll down. So this is the two-channel setup with the computer. You guys know, if you've seen the channel before, you understand what's going on in the system. The theater system is set up back here. There's a center channel, which is a bookshelf. That's just the refresh rate. Towers, monolith, T6 towers, B6 bookshelves as center channels, then side scrolling here slowly. This is the monolith C6, the center channels, which I have set up around my space as surrounds, all in these areas here, and then the rest of my space is a complete mess. So what I wanted to show you today is the two-channel room, which I have been slowly decorating and trying to figure out what to do. Why is this so tilted? There we go. That's really weird. Anyways, this is the two-channel room. You hear that it sounds different. I just walked. This is basically outside my bathroom. You can hear like there's some echo in here from the bathroom. This space is much more dead. You can hear the sound of this room is very different. I don't have my wide-angle lens on, so I'm going to have to pan and shoot around the space. You guys have seen that I have panels that I made. There's actually foam panels there. This is the speaker grills just lay down. Let me pan around the room slowly. I did attach a lot of the stuff to the ceiling, as you can see, but sadly, it's not holding. The double-sided tape I was using started letting go, and you can see that there's one of the panels that's missing from here. This one was falling down. This one's letting loose. The black panels are not bad. They're a lot lighter, but yeah, you can see that I can't zoom in, but my phone camera, I could zoom in and show you more stuff. So we're just going to go with this. And if this video does well, then cool. It is in 4K 60, which is awesome. So this video will have a better quality so you can see what's going on. Sadly, I can't do all the same tricks. So anyways, continuing around the room, the Rotel system is still there. That's still the CD11 Tribute with the 1590 Mark II preamp. Different DACs in the Mark II. I did sell the Rotel amplifier, though. This is now the Orchard Audio Star Crimson Ultra stereo mode. I will show you what's going on down here. So I did get rid of the Rotel. It was a 5-channel amp, which I had bi-amplified my towers. Now I only have one cable running to the towers instead of two. Yes, there's some katanas here for decoration. If you guys don't know what those are about, then please watch the other videos. I don't care to explain it more than once. There's a reason why stuff exists online. We can look it up after the fact. So yes, still have the Arundel Towers. Do some typical B-roll type of movements here. You guys know that I tease and make fun of a lot of stuff. Someone in my comment sections was talking about how starting a video pointed at my feet is such a good way to start a video. And I blatantly said, well, if you pay me extra, I'll take my socks off. So that's the room. And I was going to go around and do my typical startup session here. So I'm going to, yes, mind my snacks. I'm going to turn my lights on. The lights will be, pan up. Gimbal lock disabled. What? So there's the lights around the edge of the room. That's cool. And then I have a different remote for different lights. Actually, let me get this one first. So I have the white lights that go on in the background. So it's just LED bulbs. I can change their color if I want. Yes, I can make them blue. I can make them purple. I can make them red if I want. Depends on where I'm pointing, of course. Yes, I can make them red or purple. But I just like leave them on white. So that's cool. They're pretty inexpensive bulbs. Obviously, you can see it doesn't work. I have to point the remotes directly at it to work, so that's a little bit annoying. Then I also have pot lights in the front. So I can turn these on, and then the towers light up a little bit better. The problem with the pot lights, though, is they run on the same signal as my Rotel remote control. So now here's the room with the lights on. And of course, it's like a sunset pointing straight in my window there. So yes, the ceiling tiles, some of these actually got taken down too. You can see that there's still some sticker residue there. And I wanted to do this video, one, because somebody was like, hey, your feet in the opening of the video looks terrible. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to record a new video. So hopefully he watches. And we are just going to try and figure, this gimbal does not want to stay straight. I need to find like a horizon setting. So anyways, what I didn't do was turn my amp on. And I still have notifications going on. So my videos are very casual. This is real life over here. So what I'll do is I'll turn the amp on first. I just kick the button with my feet. You see this? Buddy, you see my socks this time? The soft start works great. Thank you, Leo, for building these amazing GaNFET amps. I appreciate them very, very much. It does sound a little bit different from my Rotel amp. My Rotel amp was a 5-channel class AB. These are GaNFET tech. Turning on the Rotel with the Weem Pro Plus streamer there in the background. And I have one more light trick to turn on. And I wonder what I'm going to listen to today. Probably stream something from Spotify, I think. Let's see what's on the iPad. Start up my wireless. Turn on the Wi-Fi. Yes, so the GaNFET tech it's a Class D. It's a different kind of amplification technology. It's like the Class AB stuff, or at least there used to be MOSFET. Now, I'm not an engineer, so I don't know what all of it means, but it is a different transistor material. It still switches, it just switches at a much, much higher frequency. The results in specs are some incredible numbers if you believe in numbers. If you're one to believe in sound and you need to hear it a certain way, what I believe you're going to hear in this amp technology is these ones are a little bit quieter, like their gain setting is a little bit lower than normal, so you'd have to turn up the numbers on the preamp in order to get the same volume output, which isn't a bad thing, because the result of having a low gain stage is that it's not as noisy, right? Like the gain staging actually creates some noise in the amplifier, and it's actually less noisy like that. So what am I going to be able to play? Otherwise, this whole video will get copyrighted. I'm going to go to my copyright-free drum and bass just to play stuff in the background. Let's go to my Weem streamer. Wake up. No. Spotify's got all these announcements. Let's do this. It clicks on when there's signal, so that's cool. So now it's on. Let me just turn that down so it's in the background. So this is all working good, well and good. One more light trick. Let me back up. I don't know, what do you guys think of the video quality? I'm trying to keep it straight, but for whatever reason this gimbal doesn't like to keep everything centered. So the last light trick, if I can keep my camera straight. You could barely even see it, it's too bright out. Well, there's a little bit of light there. You see that there's some projection light. Once the sun goes down, you'll be able to see it a lot better. But that may not be for a couple of hours. I'm certainly not going to keep up this video for a couple of hours. I'm actually going to put this camera down and talk to the camera. So put this on the tripod mode. Wouldn't mind answering some of the questions live in the chat or comments. That would be hilarious. So let me flip the camera, pardon me. And scroll up. Hey, what's going on? Now, let's see if I tap on my face, will it track my face? No. Now it's tracking me. Okay, well, that's not bad. And hello and welcome. This is my actual face. I don't exactly know if it's better or worse than watching the equipment. I'll probably turn the camera around at some point. Yeah, my YouTube videos are a little bit strange. I don't edit. I don't entertain the same way a lot of the other guys do. That's just the way it is. What I wanted to talk about is switching my system. Right now in the system, the Arendals are still here. 92 dB sensitivity, a low frequency reach of about 35 hertz, which is pretty good for most music. EDM, you kind of want a little bit lower than that. EDM music can get a little bit bassy. There's more bass notes. It's not just a bass kick with a little bit of bass strumming. A lot of it is like consistent and longer notes, lower tones. They push the limit a little bit. Not quite like pipe organ. I mean, of course, you could argue about these kinds of things in music. So what I'm generally talking about with sensitivity and 92 dB being sensitive is the amount of output you get per watt in your system. Now, it's a small room. It's mostly dead in here. There's a little bit of slap echo. I don't know if that was very loud for you, but I had to, you know what I mean? So I have to deal with the echo in the middle part of my room. In the center of the room, there you see all of those. Let me just flip the camera and talk about it that way. Flip. So the side of the walls, you get all of this stuff all the way around, all the way up. And then across the middle is why I have that slapback echo. So to deal with this, I'm going to have to change up some of these panels, maybe make two different strips. So there'll be one panel here and another panel here with some absorption in the middle. So that way my first and third reflections are kind of dealt with differently. And then the ceiling, I'm going to actually put like strips of reflective surfaces or diffusion panels. So like 1, 2, 3, 4 panels, then a space for the light. And then I got to figure out everything else. This was kind of an experiment. I know I was talking about it before, and I'm going to redo it at some point. Flip the camera and back to me. Well, let's track. There we go. So the idea of changing my system over is to prepare for some new electronics and some new speakers. I am still aiming at getting the Borison Acoustics line X1, X2, and X3, or 3 is starting to push it because it's a small room. But if the Arendals with 4 8-inch woofers per tower, and that's 8 8-inch woofers per pair, doesn't overload my room, then I don't think I'm going to have much problem with bass. I mean, the bass is pretty good now, except for a couple of nulls, which every room is going to have. But pushing forward, I want to be able to set this room up so that at least the acoustics, the RT60 time is dealt with. I can bring that echo down a little bit, change the panels in some places, maybe add some absorption in certain corners to bring down the bass nulls. Also moving my towers either forward or backward, obviously changing around some of that stuff. But the number one thing that I want to change out, and I was surprised to discover this, is my Rotel preamp actually has some noise to it. Now, I don't know that it's common or atypical or whatever the case may be, but it does have a noise floor that I want to eliminate. So I want to change the Rotel preamp And I don't know if I'm going to go with an integrated amp. Say the Audio Group Denmark offers the Axis line, which has the Forte 1, 2, and 3. And the Forte 1 is about 100 watts per channel. It's a Class D. They call it a UMAC, so UMAC technology, which someone directed me to Pascal Audio, which is a pro audio and other types of amplifier tech. So the UMAC is like a Pascal Audio type of Class D. I guess they do something a little bit different. But instead of getting an integrated all-in-one, I would like to still be able to play around with streamers or NAS servers, and I have a CD player already. Obviously, I can add a CD player to an integrated amp. But I want to be able to play around with amps a little bit more, demo some more stuff. Preamp tech allows me to change my amplifiers out, change my streamers out. I can do more demo stuff. But if I have an integrated, I have to get an entire system into demo in order to change things. I can't just compare amp to amp. I can't just compare streamer to streamer. So keeping with the separates is going to allow me to do more demo work, which is something that I'm hoping to do with the channel. Now, there's some hits and misses. I've been struggling lately to figure out where I fit into this media space. I'll be honest with you, I have not been that comfortable for about a month. Now, it's no one else's problem. It's not because of the media space. It's not because of people. It's not because of conversations that have happened. It's really just things that I have been personally dealing with, and I am trying to do my best to account for those things. How I think, what I think about, things that I react to, situations that I'm not familiar with. I switched from night shift to day shift. It was my late mother's birthday recently, threw me into a whole other direction. I don't know for sure if I can claim anything like autism spectrum. I definitely have anxiety problems and overthinking issues. Now, I don't know, why am I talking about this on my channel about audio? Okay, well, it matters to me because we are all a community, and a community of people who may have similar problems are also part of the comment sections. They're also part of industry where we all know that there was a recent reaction from a brand to a review that went out, and then that exploded across the media space. Now, I had some things to say about that, and I shoved my foot in my mouth a little bit about that, because the last thing that I want to do is make my friends feel worse or put off or even a little bit upset. I don't want to upset my friends. But that goes back to what I was talking about. The first part of my channel name in Phonics is Psy, as in psyche, as in psychology, as in what we all have to deal with as a person. The primary element of my channel is to deal with people. And I'm not even the greatest people person. I have my own issues, and I want to be transparent about that. So if you read comments and if you see the interactions, I mean, there's a reason why I focus really hard on photography when I go to shows, and I do point of view videos where I'm pointing at something in my room, or I'm talking about something that's technology wise, because yeah, I sometimes have a hard time dealing with the social side of it. But what better ways to face your enemies, and I mean enemy in a metaphoric way, than to turn the camera around, pun intended, and face it for real. Face your demons, face your fears, challenge yourself. How else am I going to better myself if I don't challenge the thing that I'm not good at, which is why I'm choosing to engage this way. There's a lot of health issues to go in with that too, and if you think that if your mind and body are connected somehow, and our gut biome is said to affect our mental states. I also have Crohn's disease, and Crohn's disease is hard to deal with. There's a lot of pains, there's a lot of discomfort, there's a lot of social anxiety around situations where I can't just go to dinner with clients and friends. I have to, anyways, it's a big ball of things that are going on. Changing to day shift has thrown all my sleeping off. So the last while to bring it back to audio, to tell my friends and my subscribers here, like, listen, my channel's unusual because I'm unusual. If we have 100 people out there doing unboxings and doing the same kind of content, aren't you bored of the same content? My random and differentness is hopefully going to attract a certain audience. I can't always please everybody. That's not going to be possible. Nobody can please everyone. I'm going to try, and I'm going to try to do some different things. Like, I have scrap stuff here. I mean, I don't know who else's channel you can watch where they could just pull up drivers like this. Well, I can, because I have them. And I'm not going to say where these are from. If you identify it, then okay, cool, good for you. But this is a way for me to demonstrate and talk about how things are different in technology, because I can show you examples. Now, there's some value in that. Cool. Maybe that's a value to you, and we can make that work. In this system, going back to all of these changes, switching to day shift, pardon me, some of the lemonade when life gives you lemons, right? With all of these changes, switching to day shift, trying to make videos at night, doing streaming at a different time, trying to engage with a different audience, I've had a real struggle with it this last week. I've canceled certain events, and I apologize to my friends who are going to see this, and it's just been really difficult to try and pull my mind out of this space. Not trying to give up on audio, not trying to give up on the industry, not trying to make enemies of the people that are out there, but going through so many struggles and going through so many different things, it's been really difficult to manage. Now, I've been in the audio thing for 27 years, and I've had the audio channel now for 4 or 5 plus. I've had another channel which I canceled for even longer. But I want to see this through. I want to do better. I want to bring some new stuff to people. And it's hard to see through criticisms and just blatant trolling and hateful kind of comments about all kinds of different stuff in the comment sections, where I try to fight for what's positive, what's accurate, what's creative, and share in these things. Of course, we're not all going to be the same, and no one's minds are going to be similar. So it's been really tough to take on people's criticisms looking in and not knowing what I'm going through. You can't change everybody, and as my friends will tell me, it's a really, really tough fight to try and change a community. I'm only one person, and I know that not everybody is going to be on board and like things, and of course we all have a freedom of choice and speech, and yes, and then audio, it's the same way. We have all kinds of options out there, all kinds of speakers, all kinds of amps, all kinds of cables, all kinds of sources, all kinds of streaming. If you're doing vinyl, if you're doing CD, if you're doing reel to reel, I mean, if you have a gramophone cylinder and you're still listening to music that was produced by, like the Isaac Newton type of, well, it probably wasn't Newton, but maybe Alexander Graham Bell. It doesn't matter what you're listening to music on. As long as you're enjoying it and you appreciate the way it sounds, then cool. I mean, as a media person, my only role here is to tell you about what I've experienced and how I feel like it works, or if I have some inside information and I've worked at brands before, if I talk to dealers, or if I've been to factories, I can tell you a little bit more about how it was made, what matters, the QC process, ordering, behind the scenes, and we're all going to have different experiences to bring. Maybe others have been in the industry for 50 years and they've tried this speaker and this failed and that failed and this customer service is no good. But that's why bringing our information together without all of this criticism, without all of this bickering, is much more important. Allow people to be who they are as long as they're being respectful, and try to see through that. Now, in my case, lately has been very rough. Now, I don't know who's going to see this, or any of my friends are going to see this. Maybe they will and they won't comment, or maybe they don't leave comments. There's a lot of people that like watching and don't ever say anything. So that is what it is. I can't make you say anything. However, I want to get this out and say I've been going through a lot of changes, much like my audio system. I have my Rotel that's sold. I've got the new amp in. I'm borrowing from Orchard Audio to listen to and check it out with my speakers. The speakers are on sale. The preamp is on sale. I sold my home theater system, so I don't have a gaming surround system right now. I'm trying to figure out the next home theater system. I've been asking some brands to borrow some stuff with no response. I guess my channel's not big enough. Such is the number game. That is what it is. I'm going to have to figure all that stuff out. But a lot of changes at once, and a lot of stresses at once, and a lot of things that have to happen at once. And I'm sure that my story isn't unique. I'm sure that you out there, the viewer, have had things happen. Car troubles, family troubles, relationship troubles, work troubles. You know, we all go through many, many, many things. And I find that it's important to handle it a certain way. We don't want to bring that into the community and get typing on the keyboard and be, I had a bad day, so I'm going to let everybody else have it. Not the best thing to do. So before my battery dies, let me just flip my camera again and say my goodbyes. And say thank you for joining me today. It has been a struggle, and with luck and perseverance, I will get this room finished. I'm going to try to change the ceiling. I'm going to eventually change over the speakers for sure. The amplifiers, maybe. Orchard Audio's got some really good premium models coming out, so I could put monoblock there. Keep the preamp, but I'm not really sure which preamp to go to. Like I said, I want to have like a preamp streamer sort of separate unit, and then leave the amps on this side. So I don't know what you think. Let me know what you think of the video. How does it sound? Does this video sound very different? And yes, the katanas have a story. So if you care to know what the story is, please watch one of the other videos. Look for the unboxing video that tells the whole story. And then Instagram and Facebook, my photos are posted on Facebook. My other reels and stuff is on Instagram. Same name. I'm not asking you to follow and like and subscribe. Forget all that nonsense. There's enough people out there already trying to suck everybody into following and liking. Leave me a comment. That's what I want. You don't have to like. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to none of that. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think. We'll generate a conversation. If you like things after a while, then okay, that's up to you. I'm not asking for it. To me, that's lame. Like what you like. Don't like what you don't like. It's up to you. It's a freedom of choice. We're here to build a community. I'm not here to get followers, honestly. Just the stronger the community can be, the more informed we are, the better we feel about what we're doing. That's what I truly, truly want from the people side of things. The rest of it we'll deal with later. Marketing and blah, 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 blah. That's not up to me. Anyhow, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching this one. A little bit different. I'm going to enjoy some Oreos. I'm going to get this listening to some music when I can actually afford to and not get copyright blocked. 28 minutes later, you guys are still here. Thank you very much. Write Oreos in the comment section if you see it. And then I will talk to everybody soon. So I will try to get back into the social world. I need to recover a bit. Maybe I can do a follow-up show with Scott on his channel and maybe a couple of other people. We'll see what happens. Anyways, that's me. That's my problems. That's my system. Let me know in the comments what you think. And like I said, if you've been here that long, you know what to write. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye.